when you are a foreigner, because they usually look at you at how much money they can get from you. They're not really looking to just be friends with you, right? So I would give a 7 out of 10. But in Malaysia, people are extremely kind and they are willing to help you, doesn't matter what. People in Malaysia are just amazing. I give a 9 out of 10.
Like, I've been to Bali and I've been to Thailand, and some places there are so beautiful, but they are so filled with tourists that it becomes like insane.
Don't come here to Langkawi expecting to party. It's not one of those islands.
Kuala Lumpur is also super modern with great infrastructure, and it's way less touristy than Thailand.
Guys, kalau kita ngomongin Asia Tenggara, biasanya yang langsung kepikiran itu Thailand, Vietnam, Kamboja, atau Bali. Tapi pernah nggak sih kalian bertanya, kenapa Malaysia jarang banget masuk daftar utama destinasi wisata? Padahal jujur saja, Malaysia adalah salah satu negara paling underrated di Asia Tenggara. Banyak orang melewatkannya begitu saja, tanpa benar-benar tahu betapa lengkap dan nyamannya negara ini untuk dijelajahi.
I'm honestly starting to understand why Malaysians want to gatekeep Malaysia, because people here are so genuine and so nice, and if you have tourists come in taking advantage of that, that is just not gonna go well for Malaysia. Like, I've been to Bali and I've been to Thailand, and some places there are so beautiful, but they are so filled with tourists that it becomes like insane, and the people party and they drink a lot and they kind of damage like the locals' like environment. And before you come at me, okay, it's only Malaysians watching my channel, okay? I'm still gatekeeping!
I heard there's an amazing place in the south of Southeast Asia. Yang tu Singapore. You know the world's #1 airport, Changi Airport. I don't make the rankings. You can Google search #1 airport in the world. I feel like going to Malaysia. No. Pergi Singapore. Trust me, bro. Marina Bay Sands, Gardens by the Bay, Sentosa. Cantik, bro. Isn't Malaysia the one that has great food? Bang, Singapore, bang. Outram Park, Nanxing Fujian Cao Xia Mian. I'm pretty sure it's a different country. Oh, Indonesia. Semacam Menteng. Kaum Jakarta. Sedap, bro. Pergi. What about the one with beautiful islands? Philippines. Why are you talking so nicely? I thought you hated them. What, you think we're 5? We don't hate them, bro. Banter, bang. Jokes. What's there to hate about them? I don't know. That's why you should travel there, bro. I feel like you're hiding something. Mana ada. Okay, I've booked my destination. Pergi mana? Malaysia, baby. Oh my God. I knew you were hiding something. I knew it. The only time I compliment them is the truth. You don't believe me? What's wrong with you? Semua cantik. Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. See you in Malaysia, bro. I better not see you at Bukit Bintang.
So if you've been partying for the last few months in Thailand and you think that this is going to be a party island with drinking and bars and all that, no, you're going to be disappointed. Don't come here to Langkawi expecting to party. It's not one of those islands. Langkawi is more for families, maybe solo travelers that want to immerse themselves in culture and exploration. You can find a few bars and, you know, have a few drinks, but don't come here expecting it to be a doof island, because you'll be disappointed.
When I'm in a place like Bangkok, there's so much going on outside that I almost feel like I'm getting FOMO when I'm inside working in Bangkok, especially as a young dude. Like, yes, I get my work done, but I want to go to Khao San Road when I'm in Bangkok. I want to go party. The one thing I find about KL is there's less of a party culture here, less of an alcohol culture, which I actually find really nice, because the reason I'm out here in Asia is just to focus on my content. When I'm here, it's a bit less of a party culture, so I feel like it helps you focus.
Thailand or Malaysia? What country is best? Let's talk about food. For Thailand, I will give a 9 out of 10 because the food is delicious in Thailand. The only thing is that it's very spicy. In Malaysia, I give it 8.5. It's also very tasty, but the difference is that it's much more dry. Thailand, it's more like melting in the mouth, so I would still say that Thai food is a little bit better. Cost of living, Thailand, really affordable country. You can literally have a meal for just like $1-2, really cheap. 9.5. Malaysia, a little bit higher, but still very affordable. 9 out of 10. In terms of safety, both countries are very safe. In Thailand, I would give a 9 out of 10, and in Malaysia, 10 out of 10, because it's so safe here and people are just nice and respectful to each other. It is the country I feel the safest. I've never felt so safe than in Malaysia, anywhere in the world so far. Nature in Thailand is amazing. It's really beautiful. I give it a 9.5 because there's still a lot of mosquitoes there, so you can't chill for very long. You have to keep moving. boring, but landscapes are insane. In Malaysia, from my experience in Peninsula, I would give an 8.5, which is already really good. It's so hot here. Oh, yeah, it's cold. Alright, now let's talk about people. People in Thailand are nice, but it's a little bit hard to connect when you are a foreigner because they usually look at you at how much money they can get from you. They're not really looking to just be friends with you, right? So I would give a 7 out of 10. But in Malaysia, people are extremely kind and they are willing to help you, doesn't matter what. People in Malaysia are just amazing. I give a 9 out of 10. So who is gonna win? And we got Thailand with 8.8 out of 10 and Malaysia 9 out of 10. Woo! Malaysia is winning.
Tanggal 31 bulan 8 57.
Malaysia is the most underrated country in Southeast Asia. I just spent a month there and here's what I think. Everyone actually speaks English there. It's also relatively clean compared to the other countries in the region. And the food in Malaysia is the best I've tasted across all of the world. Kuala Lumpur is also super modern with great infrastructure. And it's way less touristy than Thailand. The country is Muslim, so I thought it was going to be super strict. But you can actually buy alcohol, they have nightclubs. It's not as great as other countries and alcohol is quite expensive. If that's what you're looking for, don't go to Malaysia. One thing I forgot to say is how cheap Malaysia is. I found that some things are actually cheaper than in Thailand, but some things like alcohol, for example, are more expensive. One of the downsides with Malaysia is that it's not as flashy as other countries. It doesn't have so many tourist attractions, but it's definitely a great place to live long term.
Keep this in mind when coming to Malaysia. It's about alcohol. Now, Malaysia is a predominantly Muslim country with 64% Muslims, 19% Buddhists, and 9% Christians. And then there's Hinduism and other religions. They have more restrictions than you would have in Thailand and Vietnam. Like Vietnam is sold 24/7. Thailand, there's certain hours and ranges. And then in Malaysia, it's only up until 9 p.m. And they won't sell to Muslims. I'm not sure how they're going to know. So not all places are going to have alcohol. So some 7-Elevens do it, certain stores do. Only a few restaurants will have. And it's expensive. So you'll have like for beer in a 7-Eleven, it's going to cost you like, the cheapest is maybe like 9 ringgit. And in a bar or restaurant, it's going to be around about 20 ringgit. So guys, coming to Malaysia, just remember this. Now, you obviously don't come on holiday just to drink. That's silly. But just work around that if you plan on partying and stuff like that. But there definitely are places you can hang out and have drinks and enjoy yourself. So there's nothing stopping you. They're not going to stop you. Have fun.
Traveling Southeast Asia has made me realize that the term third world is stupid and outdated. I'm in Malaysia right now. A lot of people call Malaysia a third world country. Look at this. Look at this skyline. It is so pleasant to walk around. What are most US cities in, right? Fourth world? Fifth world? This is so much better, and it's only a fraction of the price too.
I am in Malaysia. It's literally like New York City, except they've got a couple more towers than we do. Just a couple. The unemployment saga continues, guys. I find myself in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It's literally New York, but in her soft girl era. And what do I do as a typical American on my first day? That's right. I went to a mall to go eat and shop at Uniqlo. The same thing I could do in New York, but I'm doing it in Malaysia, guys. But Malaysia, dude, they fucking get it, guys. This is a park with a water show in between a mall with their towers built after the Y2K movement. A bold choice, I will say. But I'm behind it, guys. A water show, a park, and over there, a food court. The only thing they're missing is a parking lot and a Costco. But guys, we need to learn from Malaysia. They get it, bro. They understand preserving their beauty in the nature over here, as well as the industry consumerism. I love it here. They get me.
Why did we leave New Zealand to come to Malaysia? And why did we apply for our Malaysia My Second Home visa so we could stay here? First of all, the quality and standard of living for us here in Malaysia is so much more higher. It's so much more obtainable. In New Zealand is expensive. Everything is expensive. Food, power, petrol, just every day-to-day life is expensive. Second of all, the medical system here is fantastic. You can go and see a specialist just like that. You go to the hospital, you go to the office, you take a number, you go to see a specialist. That's unheard of in New Zealand. You're going to be 9 months down the track until you see anybody or even talk to anybody. Third is the people and the culture. Everybody here is just so much nicer, so much friendlier, so much happier, and I feel like it's really good for the kids to be able to experience a different culture, a different language. New Zealand is so far away and so isolated and so in their bubble, they have no idea what's going on the other side of the world. So it's really good for the kids to understand that there's not just New Zealand. And the last one is the tax in New Zealand. The tax system in New Zealand is insane. The tax rates are super, super high. So here in Malaysia, it works to our favour. So this is why we're here.
I'm a Malaysian who lives in France, and every time I come home to Asia, I am floored at how technologically advanced Asia is compared to Europe. Now, obviously, countries like France and the UK are superpowers that had a lot of colonies, still have some colonies, and have built a lot of wealth over hundreds and thousands of years. And so these countries will always be more advanced in certain ways. But just in terms of technology that everyday people use to make their lives more convenient, Europe is so far behind. So for example, at the airport in Kuala Lumpur, when I landed this time, I didn't notice it on my last trip. Maybe it's a new thing. Now we have QR codes that Malaysians can use to have a faster passport gate process. E-gates, it used to be only for Malaysians, but now it's for everybody. So, well, everybody with a biometric passport. So you might have a European Union passport, or you might have an ASEAN, because Malaysia is part of the Southeast Asia Union. And if you have one of those passports, I think a bunch of other countries, you can use the e-gate. Already e-gate, multiple countries can use it, not just our union. So good. But for Malaysians, we can also generate this QR code with an app. You have to scan your passport and your face and everything, but you can just scan a QR code. You don't even have to take your passport out of your bag. Scan your QR code, and then it scans your face, and you're through. And because it's only for Malaysians, the queue is really short, and the machine actually says, "Welcome home." Like, what? This is so cool. It actually says, "Selamat pulang," which is welcome home in Malay. And I'm just like, this is so cool. I could make a whole separate video about how banking in France is so hilariously outdated. So, for example, I cannot do a cash deposit to my own account. Let's say I've accidentally withdrawn too much money and I want to put the cash back into my account. Can't simply do that in France because I opened my bank account with a certain French bank at the Nomad branch, and I live in the Paris region. So if I tried to use the Paris bank to deposit that money back into my own account, it would take 7 days because the bank would consider it an international transfer. One time my friend wanted to send me money for something, and she asked me for my RIB, which is like I have to download the PDF document from my online banking with all my banking details, send her this document, and then she will bank in the money to me, and it may take 2 days to clear. What? In Malaysia, let's say I go out to dinner with my friends and then we want to split the bill. My friend pays first, and then to pay my friend back, she just shows me a QR code from her banking app. I scan the QR code, and then I can input the amount of money, like at the exact amount that I need to transfer her, and it's done like that, on the spot, instant. Also, for example, so many things are cashless and paperless in Malaysia now. Like our parking lots, if you go to a building or a shopping mall and you drive in, and then the sensors will detect your license plate, you drive in, you park, and then you exit, you can just use your debit card to tap on the parking machine on the way out. You don't have to find the parking ticket machine to put cash into it to pay your ticket. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have, there's no paper ticket. It just detects your car, you drive in. And then when you leave, the sensor will tell you how long you've spent in the building, and then you just tap your card to pay. All the buildings in the Kuala Lumpur region have been upgraded to this parking system. It's so convenient, and so it doesn't matter how far away you park from the door or how close to the exit or whatever, because you just have to pay on your way out with your own debit card. Like, it's so easy. And when I think about the fact that in France, like when I do groceries with my husband at the big like hypermarket mall, like if we don't spend a certain amount of time in the building, sometimes the ticket doesn't want to read or tries to charge us too much because we didn't spend the minimum 10 minutes, or like just the fact that it's a paper ticket is already so funny. Now, as somebody who has lived in 2 different countries, I know that it's pros and cons of each country. It's pros and cons, right? You cannot have the pros of one country in another country. That's how it works. But I think what is weird to me is the fact that European nations are much wealthier than, for example, my country. I come from Malaysia. Like in Southeast Asia, only Singapore is considered a wealthy nation, right? But Malaysia is an upper middle income country. And if you live in a city in Malaysia, you live a very comfortable life. And it's just very weird to me that despite the fact that Malaysia is not as wealthy as a country like France, France is so behind. Certain things that should make an everyday citizen's life more convenient. That's the weird part. Anyway, I live in France and has great culture and amazing food and croissants and an amazing healthcare system. Like, there are things that I appreciate, obviously, about my adopted country, but I cannot not mention how great Asia is in terms of technology.
So for British people looking at foreign relocation, I would highly recommend the country of Malaysia, and particularly the major city of Kuala Lumpur, because there is such a strong British heritage here in Malaysia. People speak English, their cars are right-hand drive, and there is a long history of good relations with the UK. People are welcoming to all foreign citizens, especially British citizens, and it's a really nice lifestyle here in the centre of Kuala Lumpur. I mean, you've got amazing buildings, you've got amazing standards of living for a very, very low cost, and so British people can really do a lot worse than to move over here to Malaysia. And the way to get residency, everyone can look this up online, is through the MM2H program, where you essentially spend a minimum of $150,000. You get a residency permit in the country for a minimum of 10 years. You can bring your spouse, you can bring your children, and you can bring your car over here to Malaysia. You can live and work in a very, very comfortable, pleasant, friendly environment and really start to enjoy life.
Yang sering bikin orang salah kaprah adalah ekspektasi. Banyak traveler datang ke Malaysia dengan bayangan bakal dapat suasana pesta, seperti di Thailand atau Bali. Padahal Malaysia itu berbeda. Ini adalah negara yang mayoritas penduduknya Muslim, jadi budaya alkohol dan party jelas tidak dominan. Di Kuala Lumpur misalnya, kamu tetap bisa menemukan bar dan tempat nongkrong, tapi atmosfernya jauh lebih tenang. Langkawi pun bukan pulau dugem, melainkan lebih cocok untuk keluarga, solo traveler, atau siapapun yang ingin menikmati alam dan budaya secara santai. Justru disinilah letak keistimewaannya. Malaysia menawarkan ruang untuk benar-benar fokus menikmati perjalanan, bukan sekedar berpesta. Selain itu, banyak orang juga belum sadar kalau Malaysia itu sangat modern. Kuala Lumpur adalah kota besar dengan infrastruktur yang rapi, jalanan bersih, transportasi nyaman, layanan kesehatan bagus, dan yang paling bikin kaget, masyarakatnya sebagian besar bisa berbahasa Inggris. Buat traveler dari luar negeri, ini bikin adaptasi jadi jauh lebih mudah. Ditambah lagi, tingkat kebersihan dan kedisiplinan publiknya terasa banget, dari jalan raya sampai toilet umum. Semua itu memberi kesan bahwa negara ini benar-benar dirawat dengan serius. Malaysia juga istimewa karena keberagaman budayanya. Di satu tempat, kamu bisa merasakan pengaruh Melayu, Tionghoa, dan India sekaligus. Perpaduan ini paling terasa lewat makanannya. Penang misalnya punya puluhan restoran dan street food yang masuk Michelin Guide dengan harga yang masih sangat terjangkau, bahkan banyak menu enak yang cuma setara 2-3 dolar. Rasanya sulit mencari destinasi street food lain di dunia yang bisa menyaingi kombinasi kualitas dan harga seperti di sini. Kalau kamu pecinta alam, Malaysia juga nggak kalah memukau. Ada hutan hujan taman negara yang legendaris, perbukitan sejuk Cameron Highlands, pantai-pantai cantik di Langkawi, sampai keindahan bawah alum Sipadan yang terkenal di dunia. Bahkan Malaysia adalah salah satu tempat langka di mana kamu masih bisa melihat orang-utan di habitat aslinya. Dan buat yang lebih suka suasana kota, Kuala Lumpur menawarkan pengalaman urban yang modern, bersih, aman, dan relatif lebih murah dibanding Bangkok atau Saigon. Dengan naiknya biaya hidup di Thailand dan Indonesia, Malaysia justru jadi pilihan dengan value terbaik saat ini. Bahkan masih memungkinkan dapat hotel nyaman dengan harga yang sangat bersahabat. Namun, ada satu hal penting yang perlu diingat guys. Malaysia bukan destinasi untuk datang dengan mentalitas pesta dan bebas sebebas-bebasnya. Ini adalah tempat yang menjunjung tinggi rasa hormat, budaya, dan ketenangan. Banyak orang lokal bahkan cenderung menggampangkan negaranya sendiri dengan bercanda soal tinggal di pohon. Padahal sebenarnya itu bentuk gatekeeping halus, karena mereka ingin negaranya tetap nyaman, bersih, dan tidak rusak oleh pariwisata yang berlebihan. Jadi kalau kamu datang ke sini, datanglah sebagai traveler, bukan sekedar turis. Sebagai penutup, kalau kalian benar-benar ingin mulai menjelajah Asia Tenggara, Malaysia adalah titik awal yang luar biasa. Mudah diakses, ramah untuk pendatang, makanannya luar biasa, alamnya indah, dan kotanya modern. Tapi yang paling penting, datanglah dengan sikap menghargai. Hormati budaya lokal, jaga kebersihan, bersikap sopan, dan nikmati negara ini dengan cara yang bertanggung jawab. Traveling itu bukan cuma soal foto keren dan konten, tapi juga tentang bagaimana kita meninggalkan jejak yang baik di tempat yang kita kunjungi. Jadi guys, kalau suatu hari Malaysia masuk bucket list kalian, datanglah dengan hati terbuka, pikiran jernih, dan rasa hormat. Karena tempat seindah ini pantas diperlakukan dengan baik.